Today is a celebration of love, of commitment, of friendship, of family, and of two people, Dan and Mandy, who are in it for forever. You don't have to have a ceremony to have a marriage. And when you think about it, the whole thing is kind of weird. You're standing in front of everyone, looking fancy, holding flowers, and being stared at by pretty much everyone who has meant anything to you during your life. So why do we do it? The marriage ceremony has been an important feature across nearly every culture, religion, generation, and society. We have thousands of important moments that happen throughout our lives, but this one is regarded as one so critical, we acknowledge its special status by sharing it with others. Why this moment? Because despite all of our differences, love is what we all share. It's the great unifier, our one universal truth. No matter who we are, where we've come from, or what we believe, we know this one thing. Love is what we're doing right. That's why you both are standing here. That's why you all are here to watch them stand here. We have all loved in our lifetimes, and in this moment, we're reminded that the ability to love is the very best part of our humanity. All of us here have our own love stories. Some are short, others long, some are yet unwritten, while others are just getting to the good part. There are chapters in all our stories that are sad or disappointing, and others that are exciting and full of adventure. Dan and Mandy's story started with Dan signing up for a yoga class Mandy was offering. Yeah, you heard me right. I used Dan and yoga in the same sentence. This tells us all how much he must have wanted to see Mandy again. And that led to their first date. Mandy was pleasantly surprised that Dan decided to take her to a paint night. They had a great time talking and painting the beach, palm trees, and the ocean. Mandy was feeling something special, and when she leaned over to view Dan's final painting and saw he had added a pirate ship being attacked by a kraken, she knew he could be the one. And that brings them here, a time to pause, look back, and smile at all the moments that brought them here. And a time to look ahead at all the moments that are still to come. I'm here, we're all here, because we want those moments for both of you. We're here to hope with you, to support you, to be proud of you, and to remind you that love isn't happily ever after. Love is the experience of writing your story. It's not one moment, not even this moment. It's every moment. Big ones like saying, I love you, moving in together, getting engaged. But mostly a million little ones that come in between the big moments. Looking for deals at yard sales, remodeling the house, enjoying good sushi together, and watching horrible dating shows. These everyday moments fuse together into one big experience. And even though this experience is so incredible, words fail us when we try to explain it. That's just the way it is with love. It's meant to be felt, not described. But trying to describe love is one of our favorite pastimes. We use the words we have to write stories and poems and songs about love. And even though we describe love in different ways, and even though love can look different from one person to the next, we all know it when we see it, and we see it here. So today, we have some words of love that come from kids who love you both. Cyrus said, I love Dan. He's my other dad. I love Mandy because they are great together. They are both awesome. Hayla said, I love when we go out to eat so we can all just talk. I wish them both nothing but happiness. You fell in love by chance, but you're here today because you're making a choice. You both are choosing each other. You've chosen to be with someone who enhances you, who makes you think, makes you smile, and makes every day brighter. Marriage is not a legal document. It is the vows made and kept by two individuals. Dan and Mandy will now share the vows they wrote for each other.
I try to hold it together here. There I go. Babe, I've known for a long time God has had a plan for me. Through this journey of life, I have experienced many opportunities, successes, challenges, and failures. These events have shaped me to the man I am today. Along the way, I have been blessed with a great family and great friends. I don't ask God for much, but I did ask for many years for a perfect match. A partner in crime to play the game of life. The list wasn't long. Beautiful, smart, kind, honest, funny, loving, heart of gold, lots of patience, supportive, someone that treats my kids as their own, shares the same interests as I do, like snowboarding, a go-getter, someone that's smart with money, better than me, and did I mention a lot of patience? And I'll stop there. All those qualities are you. I promise to match those qualities to the best of my ability without annoying you too much. I can't thank you enough for being that person, and I can't thank God enough for bringing you in my life. I'm lucky to get to spend the rest of my life with you. I love you.
So I'm battling a cold, so if I'm sniffing, sorry. Okay. Dan, I can still remember the day I met you and Hala. I can remember every little detail. I remember the exact outfits you both were wearing. And by how Hala was dressed, I knew you were a single dad. We've stepped up her game. After our first date, we were pretty much officially dating. And 4 months later, I moved in. I guess the corny saying everyone says, when you know, is true. I've never once in our entire relationship had any doubts about you. You are the most caring, loving, silly, and genuine person I have ever met. And it's not just me who says that. I know every single one of your friends and family agrees with that too. I can't imagine my life without you and Hala. You guys bring me so much joy and meaning to my life. We have created such an amazing life together in the short time we have been together. Imagine what we can do in a lifetime. I seriously can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you and Hala, and I couldn't imagine my life any different. I remember on our first date, I told you, my mom always taught me growing up that the man I marry cannot combine my birthday and Valentine's Day, since my birthday is the day after Valentine's Day, and that they must always be treated as two separate holidays. The past couple years, you have treated both of the days as separate occasions. So I guess you passed the test, and I can marry you. I love you with all of my heart and forever will.
Thank you.
You're about to make promises to each other that you intend to keep. You're going to promise to take care of each other, to stand up for one another, and find happiness in the other. There's a simple premise to each of these promises. You're vowing to be there. You're teaming up and saying to the other, every experience I am going to have, I want you to be a part of. You've both chosen to wear rings as a reminder of these promises. Do you, Dan, keep Mandy as your favorite person? To laugh with her, go on adventures with her, support her through life's tough moments, be proud of her, grow old with her, and find new reasons to love her every day?
I do.
Do you, Mandy, keep Dan as your favorite person to laugh with him, go on adventures with him, support him through life's tough moments, be proud of him, grow old with him, and find new reasons to love him every day?
I do.
Do you, Dan and Mandy, promise to be each other's partners from this day forward? Do you promise to bring out the best in one another, share your happiest moments together, and love each other absolutely for the rest of this lifetime and for whatever may come next? All right. Congratulations, Dan and Mandy. I now pronounce you husband and wife. Dan, you may kiss your bride. It is now my honor to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Dan Regan.
So the first one to say a few words for us is going to be the best man.
Okay. Hey, Garrett. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Chris. I've known Dan here my whole life, most of my life. I'm Dan growing up. Since we were 3, we grew up in California together. We did a lot of fun stuff together growing up, going camping, hunting together. One time, I think it was you or your dad shot me, almost tried to shoot me in the back, loading that gun. That we did. Went 3-wheel, 4-wheeling together a lot. You always never let me drive it, but I was always in the back. But we had a good time there. But the best things, the best time I had was with you, is when you were kind of with my wingman as we growing up, 13, 14, growing up and helping with the ladies who come around. One time we went camping, or we told our folks we were going to go camping. And remember this, Dan, I dressed up in a turtleneck, a sweater, and slacks to go meet up with a neighbor girl down the street or down there. And Dan was like, "What are you doing, man?" I'm like, "No, it's great. I look good." You remember that? We're in my bedroom. So we sneak out, and my mom catches us or says something, but Dan was cool with that. He always had my back. Or there was a time, we grew up in the farm, kind of had some cows and horses, and I was out there with the manure and just kind of all smelling like I was. And someone stopped by, a girl, we couldn't drive then, we were like 13, 14 years old, but she had a little scooter, she came up unexpectedly. And I saw her, and I was in there, just all covered up with manure. I run over to Dan, You remember that? Ran over, anyway, I was in the barn, I snuck out, she didn't see me, went across the field over to Dan's house, and Dan's out there mowing. And I snuck into his house, snuck into his room, threw he threw his pair of pants on, a shirt and a hat, and I walk out, and Dan's looking at me, he's like, what are you doing here? But I was in his clothes, smelling good, and while Dan was finished mowing, I was having a nice conversation with her. He never sold me out and never let on. And I was thinking, I never really got a chance to reciprocate, or, you never needed help. You're always good on your own. You never need me along with you. And even though I didn't introduce you and Mandy together, I think I got it all started here by bringing you here to Arizona. Hell yeah. And I think I moved out here from California for school, and and Dan was up in Seattle, and I don't know, he was trying to do a Burton contract, or he couldn't land. He couldn't land like 180 with your ski, the snowboard. He had a hard time with that, so he said, I'm going to try something new. I didn't expect him to bring a lot of these guys with him, though. Tommy and Dennis and a lot of these guys came with him, but it was great. I moved up to Ohio now, and through the years, phone calls and kind of hard to keep track. But my lovely wife Sarah and Facebook, I was able to keep track of Dan through pictures and everything, and that was neat. So that's how I knew Dan and Mandy were together, through Facebook and pictures. And Sarah's like, "Hey, look," and but it was neat to watch. First Mandy and Dan together, going out, just them two doing graduating, seeing going to restaurants and parties together. And then what really was neat is when the three of you were together, Dan, Mandy, and Hala, and to seeing you guys do things together. And that was really special. And to see that progression through Facebook. So, and I could just tell through that Dan really was in love with Mandy, and you were in love with your new little family. And just through the pictures, it was just neat to see. If I couldn't be there, but I was there. One real quick thing. Mandy, I met you a couple years ago at a wedding there in California, and you made quite an impression on us. Numerous examples, but I won't. You were on the dance floor, Dan. You're having a good time on the dance floor, and my daughter, Elena, who was 8 at the time, she saw you dancing, and then remember this? And then when I told Elena that you guys were getting married, and my daughter Elena's like, "Oh, is that the girl that was doing the hip shake with Dan?" Yeah. I said, "Yes, honey, that's the girl," and I expect we're going to see a lot more of that later on tonight. I guess what I'm trying to say, Dan, is I'm so happy for you, man, you and Mandy. I love you guys. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me, your best man. I wish you guys all the love, all the happiness, and all the adventure that a lifetime of a marriage will allow. To Dan and Mandy. So on behalf of Garrett, I just want to say I love Dan. Here you go, girl. What the heck? I thought you were going over there. You ready? Oh, jeez.
Hi, everybody. Man, there's so much things I can say about Dan and Mandy. It's kind of good. So I could go through the nicknames, but I won't. I could go through the good stories, but I won't. 2004 is when I met Big Dan. Big Dan, 2004, baby. I come into work in a suit with an earpiece thinking I'm cool, right? Walking in late. Dan's guarding the door, and I'm like knocking. He opens the door. There he is. I'm like, hey, Dan. He's like, hey, man, you're late. Yeah, I know. I don't give a shit. It's just a bouncer job. He's like, come on in. So anyway, long story short, we became friends after about him letting me in the back door being late 100 times. Well, Big Dick Dan. Big Dan over here, right, lets me in. So I'm like, he's a good dude. He's cool. I can show up late and he can let me in the back door. So this is a nice nightclub. I mean, we're in suits head to toe, earpieces in, and Dan loves work. Like, he has to be in there at 9 p.m. He'll get in there at 7 just to be sure he's on time. And he'll be watching that door. Well, me, I'm the opposite. I'm like, okay, I need to be there at 9, but we don't get busy till 10, so I'll be there at 10. But they lock the doors at the front, and they'll know I'm late. So if I sneak to the back, Dan will let me in. And he does. So I'm going to make this quick. I don't want to make this boring. Anywho. Huh? I love you, buddy. Yeah. Anyway. For some reason, the club that we worked at, it was a top-notch club, but there was a lot of fist fights. And the way I met Dan was we have gotten into a lot of scuffles with each other. Not one-on-one, but with other guys. And we kicked some ass, right, Dan? Hell yeah. We took it to some people, and I'm getting my toes stepped on and shins kicked. Anyway, Dan is the most humble dude you will ever meet. But you piss Dan off, be careful, because he is there. And Dan's dad, Mike, good job for teaching him that. Dan's mother, good job. I don't know if you taught him that, but if that's just genetics or whatnot. But anyway, we have been in numerous fights. And I'm like, this guy is so nice.
You gotta wrap it up. We got more speeches. We got it.
I'm just starting, bro. Well, then you should have had one best man, dude. You have two. You can't make mine. Okay, I'll make this faster, Dan. Okay. Anyway, Dan knows how to handle himself, and he's level-headed, okay? So Dan, I've known Dan for a long time, 2004 to now, and he's such a great guy. So anyway. No. Why? I'm not done, bro. Let me finish real quick. Okay, so loyal, family, just a best friend that I absolutely love, okay? So Dan, throughout the time when we first started working together, he'd been through some trials, and life was sucking out of him bigger than shit, I'm telling you. And seriously, God has its timing. I'm dead serious. God's timing is awesome, because Mandy came into Dan's life when Dan was at his lowest, and I'm telling you, he was. And Dan has done a great job at raising Hala and Sai. I'm telling you, for sure. And I know Dan has been praying for a woman to come into his life. And here comes Mandy out of nowhere. And Dan's telling me about this woman. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to meet this chick. So I met her. And Mandy, Dan has a lot of weaknesses that's just ridiculous. And Mandy, you make up for every single weakness in Dan. I'm dead serious. And you're a great mother. I look up to you. I do. I see you posting stuff, and I'm trying to be there. Really, I am. And Charlene understands as well. But listen, like, you guys are awesome together. God has answered Dan's prayers, and I'm cutting it short for Dan. I'm sorry, Dan, that I screwed it up, and I'm not along your timeline. But I wanted to say some stuff that I needed to get out. But I wanted to tell you how I met Dan. He's going to be a great husband. Dude, you make a great husband, loyal to your family, friends, your work ethic. I mean, dude, you're an all-around good dude. I love you. I love both of you.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Mandy's best friend. It all started in 7th grade, 15 years ago, in Miss Miller's class. I won't embarrass you tonight, so I'm going to spare all the stories and the embarrassments for you. I just want to say it's such a great feeling knowing she's found her person. I will never forget when she called me in the morning and told me about her first date, and I just knew. And it's so nice to see that Dan compliments Mandy, and Mandy compliments Dan in the ways that she never thought that she could have. I love you both so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for letting me be a part of this special, special day. And a huge thank you to everyone who's here to make this day possible, especially the parents. It's beautiful. You two are beautiful. And cheers to Mandy and Dan. Their journey has just begun. Woo!
Someone else wanted to say something. Mike? It's Mike. That's here. So now we got Dan's father, Mike. He's gonna say something. Let's give him a big round of applause also for him.
My name is Mike. I'm Dan's dad. And the reason I'm his dad is my name has 4 letters and his has 3. I've had the opportunity to spend some time around my son and Mandy. And I'm very happy for them. I was able to observe how they interact, and it was clear to me they look like a good team. So, Dan and Mandy, if you're going to wear the name, you have to wear these. So wear them proud. Thank you.
Okay, so we got somebody else coming out here and say a few words.
Go around behind him. Oh, I can stand behind Amanda. Hello, everybody. Everybody that doesn't know me, I'm Amanda's Uncle Lenny. And every party I have, I want him. I want you to be at every party I ever have. I was honored when Amanda asked me to say a few words tonight at their wedding. I've known, obviously, Amanda her whole life, and I was lucky enough to live with her. Thank you. Live with her for a good portion of the first year and a half of her life, and so she and I became very close. And I've always said that she was my favorite niece, although in fairness, she was my only one for a very long time, and I've got 5 others. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But Amanda, certainly at this point in my life, is the closest thing I've ever had to a daughter. And so again, I'm honored to be able to give some words tonight. I always loved Amanda, but as she got older, I realized how much I liked her. And I liked her because, and one of the reasons is because anybody that knows her is she is one of the funniest people I've ever met. And she was funny from the time she was little. And so a couple things. At one point, I think Amanda was 3 or 4, and I know her as Amanda. Everybody keeps saying Mandy. I'm having a hard time with that, but for me, it's Amanda. So it's Amanda, at least for the next few minutes. And she was 3 or 4, and there was a birthday party that my sister was having at her house, and her mom was having. It was either for you or me, and I can't remember, but it was a Beauty and the Beast themed birthday party. And so Amanda and I were sitting in a corner, and she's sitting on my lap, and she's showing me the picture of the beast on the napkin, and she says, "Look at the beast, and look at the beast's teeth. He has big teeth." And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "And he's got big teeth, and he and Bella, they can't kiss." And I said, "Oh, well, that's cute. You know, they can't kiss." And she goes, "And if they can't kiss, they can't have sex." Now, Ruth Ann, I thought, was going to fall out of her chair. So I said to Amanda, I said, "Well, what's sex?" And she goes, "I don't know, kissing and stuff." So I hope that's still true. Now, as Amanda's grown older, and again, I find her just so funny, she's always made fun of me for being old. I tell her that she's not as cute as she used to be. And especially with 5 other nieces, that she's kind of losing ground. And she always likes to tell me how old I'm getting and remind me of that, which is nice. But funny thing is, a couple of years ago, she stopped doing that. And I'm not sure why. I assume it was a really good influence from Dan that she stopped doing it. So I appreciate that. I've been, and one thing is, another thing Amanda did when she was very little, and this is, again, very funny, she was about 1.5 years old. If I hadn't seen it myself, I never would have known it. Sitting with a friend of mine, and she was maybe even 1 year, because she couldn't speak yet, and she was flirting with my friend at 1 year old, and she batted her eyes really slowly, and sat down, fell down on the ground to see if he would react, and then kept doing it, and never would have believed it. But even at that point, Amanda had her sights set high. So I've been lucky enough to be married 20 years, and for anybody that knows me and knows how hard it is to live with me, knows my wife's a saint. But I have people who don't know that ask me, "Well, what's the secret to being married for 20 years?" I say, "Well, you know, I mean, we've all heard this," and we say, "Well, marriage is like a marathon, right?" We've heard that. So I started thinking, well, how is marriage like a marathon? So here's how marriage is like a marathon. Here's the 13 things. So you got 13 of them. So first, give yourself plenty of time at the start line. And this is the start line. And enjoy it. Because this is going to be a memory, but enjoy every minute of it. And the start line is, at least with a marathon, they say the start line's anticlimactic, but certainly tonight is not anticlimactic. Second one is, when you're looking forward, mentally divide the race into sections. So when you're looking down and where you're going to be in 20, 30 years, put your life into different sections and make those goals achievable. Third is, don't start out too fast. Remember, it's a marathon. Pace yourself. Fourth is, focus on your performance, not your time. Really? I think what that means is, in your marriage together, focus on your performance. Focus on being good friends. Enjoy yourselves. Pace yourself properly, learn how to walk. Because every time there's going to be hills and valleys, and you're not always going to know they're there, but make sure that when you're doing it, if you need to walk, walk. And sometimes she's going to walk in front of you, and sometimes he's going to walk in front of you. But as long as you're on that same path, that's what's going to matter. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. That's what all the rest of us are for, really, to put the pressure on you. But okay, it's okay if things don't go according to plan. Everybody's got ideas, and sometimes the course runs its way, and sometimes you just need to follow the course. Wear the proper gear. I'll leave that alone. Don't forget to smile. To me, that's the most important thing, because there's going to be times where you don't want to smile, but remember what you said today, and remember to smile, and it'll get you through all of that. Also remember, number 10, we're almost done. You're not the first person to run a marathon, so it's okay to ask somebody who has for advice. But make sure they know how to run the marathon before you ask them for advice. And along with that is, people 3 times your age will keep you psyched. Meaning that you're going to see people that have been married a long time, and you're going to kind of wonder why. And you're going to know, well, I've got it better than they do, so that's going to help you get through the end. Number 12 is hydrate. Which has nothing to do with marriage, it's just a good idea. And the last one is that the Kenyans always win. Every marathon, they do. There's no Kenyans, so you should be all right. So, anyway, from my family to you guys, congratulations. We're so happy to have Dan as part of our family, and we hope to see you all for a very long time.
Thank you.
You guys want to say anything at all? Yeah.
All right, just a quick note without crying. Just want to say thank you to everybody here. We have so many friends and families, and from actually so many different states. It's pretty incredible. Meeting people through all different stages of our life, too. And that you've all made it a point to come here. And I can't tell you how nice that is. And I'm about to cry. Anyhow, thank you so much for coming out, and we love you all.
If I had one breath left to spend, I'd go to you and take your hand and tell you that I wouldn't have spent my days any other way than with you. If I took you for granted, baby, and let you feel like I could walk away and leave me here in misery, as I try to bring myself to ever want to breathe again. I need you, and I give you all of me. I'll be the best that I can be, and I know I'm not perfect, babe, but I promise I'll try every day to make you smile and make you laugh and wipe your tears and hold your hand and share my soul with yours and yours with mine, and give you all of me and intertwine. promise I'll try every day to make you smile and make you laugh and wipe your tears and hold your hand and share my soul with yours and yours with mine.
Babe, I can't believe today is finally here. We've been planning for a year. You've been doing such a good job, working so hard. We've had so much fun along the way, and we're gonna have so much more fun going on forward. I have nothing but faith in everything that we do and the way we're gonna go. And I just can't thank you enough for being you. You're beautiful.
Babe, today has been an awesome day. I love you so much, and I couldn't imagine being with anyone else. You mean the world to me, you and Hala, and I love you both so much. And I hope one day we watch this 10 years from now and we're still as in love as we are today, and I love you so much. Mwah.